Hi, and welcome back to round 5 of the Eel Castle Cup 2.0. We are in round 5, and I'm playing my Counterburn deck. I made a deck about it, so check that out. And my opponent, I don't have a deck picture, but he's playing a blue Stasis deck, and with a perfect combo in it, so he has that Howling Mine, Relic Barrier, Winter Orb, Blackwise package with some counter spells and boomerangs, and he's playing unpowered, so I have an advantage there. I will talk more about the match after the match. So let's do this. Round 5. Game number 1. You have my opponent to the left and me to the right. He's on the play, starts out with an island. And yay, library, turn 1. Always fun for both players. So, I have a lot of cards. What to do? Cast a Chain Lightning. And pass the turn. Oh, and he has a boomerang, targeting my library. So in response I draw a card, and now I have to discard some cards. I think I have 9 cards, so yeah, I discard 2 lands. And he casts a Howling Mine. So that's interesting. So now I don't think I have to play the library, because we're both going to draw so many cards. So I cast a Time Walk, draw 2 new cards. I see a Mind Twist in my hand. I don't think I'm going to cast that in this game. Attack for 2, puts my opponent on to 15. And I discard the Time Twister. You can see he has his life counters on a Hurlen Minotaur. That's the team Hurlen Minotaur. He cast a Winter Orb and a Relic Barrier, and I cast an end of turn Lightning Bolt. So now I can only untap 1 land. So I have limited resources but a lot of cards. So I cast a Blackwise. So he can do that Relic Barrier Winter Orb trick. If he tap his Winter Orb, the Winter Orb doesn't work, so then he can untap all his lands. A really cool trick. He cast a Blackwise, so I think I have 5 cards in my hand, so I take 1 damage. And so I'm at 19, and he's on 9. You can see he has some counter spells in his hand. Yep, he counter my Blackwise. And now pass the turn. So here you have to be a bit concerned about him playing a Stasis if you are tapped out. He play a second Blackwise. So I untap 1 land. And I need to take 2 damage, I think. Chain Lightning to the face, puts him down to 6. Plays a Fellow Stone. Is there any end of turn? No. So I think he has 4 or 5 cards in his hand. I need to hit him with 2 more bolts. A lot of options here, so I'm taking my time. This is round 5, so okay. So here's a Hercules recall. Of course he counters that, because that would have given him like 10 cards in his hand. And anyway, I was saying this is round 5, so I remember I start to get a little tired. It's kind of mentally fatiguing, if that's the word. Ooh, you can see a Stasis in his hand. He casts a recall. So he has Boomerang and Counterspell. He chooses a Counterspell. So he's probably out of Counterspells. So now he has 1. And once again, I'm doing some thinking. I have an Ancestor's Recall in my hand. But the card draw hasn't been a problem in this game. So I draw two new cards. I also have a Counterspell in my hand. But is there any burn cards? Okay, so I think I remember this play. So I have an Ancestral Recall in my hand, and I think my opponent has 4 cards in his hand. So if I cast an Ancestral Recall targeting him, that would give him 7 cards in his hand. So that would mean 3 damage from the Blackwise. And he draws a Boomerang. So he punished me with a Boomerang targeting my Blackwise. So now, yeah, and a response with a Boomerang, casting a Psionic Blast, puts him down to 2. So the Ancestral Recall targeting him didn't work that much, since he Boomeranged my Blackwise. I'm not sure if that was a good play or not, but I remember I was really tired. So I was like, yeah, whatever. My instincts say, let's do that. So I tried it. But yeah, let's see. So he cast another Relic Barrier. And another Winter Orb. So I can untap 1 land, take some damage from the Blackwise. 2 more cards. Only need to hit him for 1 more. Here's the bait spell. He has the counter spell. And there's the kill spell. Boom. So I'm gonna show you a quick sideboarding picture. I took in Shatter and Red Elemental Blast, and out with a creature destruction. So game 2, he's on the play. Starts with a Blackwise. Ooh, and he has a Force Spike. That's always a great feeling to getting to use that Force Spike. And especially when it's targeting my Blackwise. So he Kaster Fellow Stone. So Soul Ring into a Time Walk. Excellent. I cast a Black Lotus. That is always fun. And I attack for 2. I think I see 2 Psionic Blasts in my hand. But as for now, let's just try to do some damage with the Factory. And he cast a Relic Barrier and a Black Wise. So in my upkeep, he's using his Relic Barrier to tap down my Lotus. He can also use his Relic Barrier to tap down my Factory if I activate it. So now I can attack for 2 if I choose to. And I just passed the turn. No, I attack for 2. Smart choice, smart choice. Okay, and he is stuck on lands. That's unfortunate. So he has a Red Blast and a Counter Spell and a Brain Geyser in his hand. Cast a Black Wise. And he taps down my Factory. He really needs another land. Unfortunately, he only drew a Winter Orb. Yeah, you can see I'm not trying to cheat here, but when you're a bit more tired, it's easy to forget those Blackwise damage. I'm not doing those kind of mistakes normally in the first rounds. Yeah, so he Blue Blast my Chain Lightning. And I'm doing some thinking. Maybe I have a Red Blast or something. So, tapping down my Lotus. So can he draw an Isle? No, that's the second Winter Orb. I cast an end of turn Psionic Blast, and he counterspells it. This comes a new Chain Lightning. Puts him down to 13. And he taps down my Factory. Still can't draw an island, so he casts a Brain Geyser for 1. And there is his island, finally. And that's always a good feeling for you when your opponent casts a Brain Geyser for 1, then you know they're desperate. So he taps down my Factory. Cast a Winter Orb. Yeah, and a Holding Mine. So he's really going all in, but he needs to make something happen. And I cast an end of turn Lightning Bolt. So it's down to 10. And I untapped. I can only untap 1 land, so I untap my Underground Sea. At 10 life. Here comes a Psionic Blast, puts him down to 6, cracking the Lotus for 2 Lightning Bolts. GG. So I won 2-0, and in game 1 I have a turn 1 library, and I used it 2 times, and he boomerangs it, and he plays a Holding Mine, and I don't play it out again. So that's the first time. that I just skipped using the library. Close to the end of game 1, I cast an Ancestral Recall, targeting my opponent to try to get his hands, get more cards in his hand, so he can take some black-wise damage because he's down to 6 life, and I need to do some more damage. I'm not sure if that was correct. In any case, one of the 3 cards he draw is a Boomerang, so he can bounce my black-wise, and uses Relic Barrier and Winter Orb Trick to untap all his land and play a bunch of spells. But he did play a bunch of spells and used a Boomerang and all that, so when it was my turn I could finish him off. So I guess it works, but hey, you're here to criticize me, so let's do that. In game 2, it was he was stuck on 2 lands and a Fellow Stone for some turns, and it's kind of hard for him to win if that happened. So he was down to 13, and I cast an end of turn Lightning Bolt, and I did 10 more burn damage in my turn. So suddenly it was over. So that's good. So I am 3-2 in this tournament, and I really need to win the last round also to have a chance to go top 8. As for sideboard, let me put up that picture again. So clearly you don't want the Abyss and the City in a Bottle. He is playing mono blue and a bunch of artifacts, so the Red Blast is fine and the Shatter is fine. But there is a discussion in which card that are better, Shatter or Counterspell. So I have 4 Counterspell main deck, and I have 3 Shatters in my sideboard. So after some thinking, I decided to take out 2 Counterspells and take in 2 of my 3 Shatters. So kind of a compromise to play on both angles. A Shatter can take care of a resolved spell, and a Counterspell can counter a spell. So that was my compromise split. I'm not quite sure if it was totally correct, but yeah, looks smart. Alright. So if you're still here, I really appreciate it. Most people go to the next video as soon as the match is over, and you're still here, so thank you. You're my most loyal customers. So now YouTube will recommend you some other videos, so check them out. Time spent on YouTube is time well spent. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.